Today, the continue to pollination. Yesterday we discussed about pollination and its type, and the second type, that is Geitanogamy. So, Geitanogamy. In previous class we discussed that based on the source of pollen grains, pollination is of three types: autogamy, geitanogamy and xenogamy. So previous class we discussed about autogamy and so advantages and disadvantages of autogamy, contrivances for self-pollination, all the things we discussed. Now the second one is geitanogamy. Yes, what is this geitanogamy? Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of another flower of the same plant, that is called geitanogamy. What is geitanogamy? Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of another flower of the same plant, that is called geitanogamy. Yes. So, the functionally, geitanogamy is a cross-pollination, but genetically it is a self-pollination. Sir, how you can say that it is genetically self-pollination? Because whatever the pollen grains are transferring from another flower to, right now, so same plant, no, that's what genetically pollen grains comes from same plant. Because of that reason it is a self-pollination. So listen, so what is the geitanogamy? Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of another flower of the same plant. That's what another plant of the same plant, that is called geitanogamy. So functionally it is a cross-pollination because the pollinating agents are involved, but genetically it is which one? Self-pollination, because the pollen grains comes from the same plants. That's what it is. Genetically it is a self-pollination, but functionally it is a cross-pollination. So which plants exhibit geitanogamy? So bisexual. Yes, that's about geitanogamy. Now the third one is xenogamy. The third one is xenogamy. It is also called allogamy. Xenogamy or allogamy, or it is also called cross-pollination. I hope you are clear. So xenogamy, it is also called allogamy or cross-pollination. Now my question, what is xenogamy or cross-pollination? Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of different plants of the same species, that is called xenogamy or allogamy or cross-pollination. What is cross-pollination? Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of different plants of the same species. Plants are different, but they are belonging to same species. Hence, this type of pollination is called xenogamy or allogamy or cross-pollination. But the cross-pollination observed in bisexual and unisexual flowers. Bisexual and unisexual flowers. So, but this cross-pollination so increase the heterozygosity. Self-pollination, homozygosity, but it is heterozygosity, cross different genes. So that's what cross-pollination increase heterozygosity. Cross-pollination increase heterozygosity. So, shall we discuss about advantages and disadvantages of cross-pollination? Shall we start advantages and disadvantages of cross-pollination? Now, advantages of cross-pollination. Now, advantages of cross-pollination. Yes, so what are the major advantages of cross-pollination? The cross-pollination introduce genetic recombinations and hence variations in progenies. What will happen, ma? The cross-pollination introduce the genetic recombinations. Whenever the genetic recombinations are introduced, as a result, what will happen, ma? Variations occur in the progenies. That's what the cross-pollination introduce the genetic recombination and hence variations in the progenies. Progenies are nothing but offsprings. Yes, and one more. This is the first advantage, and the second advantage is the cross-pollination increase the adaptability of the offsprings towards the changing environment. In previous types, that is self-pollination, we discussed disadvantage. What is that disadvantage? So due to continuous self-pollination, what will happen? The progenies are unable to sustain, or progenies are not, the offsprings are unable to survive in changing environment. That is the disadvantage of self-pollination. But what is the advantage of cross-pollination? See, the cross-pollination increase the adaptability of the offsprings towards changing environment. That is the second advantage of cross-pollination. Now the third one. See, this cross-pollination, right, ma? So can be produced through, variations can be. So, or due to cross-pollination, we can produce the variations within the progenies, or variations can be produced through cross-pollination. Which one? Variations can be produced through cross-pollination. Now, the defective characters of the race can be eliminated and it is replaced by useful characters. Which one, ma? Defective characters of the cross or race. Defective characters of the race can be eliminated and it is replaced by better characters. This is also one of the advantage of which one, ma? Cross-pollination. Advantage of cross-pollination. See, the next advantage of cross-pollination. So plants are going to produce a large number of the progenies which are having better characters than parents. Which one, ma? Through cross-pollination, the plants are able to produce a large number of the progenies which have better characters than their parents, or progenies having better characters than their parents. These are all advantages of cross-pollination. Now, disadvantages of cross-pollination. Disadvantages of cross-pollination. It is a wasteful process. The first one is it is a wasteful process. You may have doubt, sir, how it is a wasteful process? So it is a wasteful process because the plant has to produce the large or more number of the pollen grains. This is one of the disadvantages. The second one. So race. The better characters of the race may be damaged or deviated due to cross-pollination. That is one. So these are the disadvantages of cross-pollination. It is a wasteful process. Why it is a wasteful process, ma'am? Because plants has to produce a large number of the pollen grains. That is one thing. Second, so the race of an organism may be destroyed. So these are the disadvantages of cross-pollination.